You are smarter than the men who pay you. That is not a compliment. That is the diagnosis. You watch guys with half your brain buy houses. You watch them post the keys. And you stand in an aisle putting one item back. Nobody is going to explain that to you. Your intelligence was never the problem. Your instructions were. You got them from people who never got rich. Teachers on a salary. A manager who is also trapped. A father who worked 40 years and left you advice instead of assets. Machiavelli did not write for saints. He wrote for men who wanted to hold money and power and keep it. And he understood the one thing that will decide the rest of your life. The rules that make you liked are not the rules that make you rich. By the end of this, you will know exactly why your money leaks and who is holding the bucket. You will know how to price yourself 3 times higher without working an extra hour. You will know how to build one thing that pays you long after you built it. And you will walk away dangerous. A man who can say no, walk out of a room, and refuse a client without checking his account first. That is what dangerously rich means. Not objects, immunity. But understand the price of admission. Some of this will insult you. One of these lessons will describe you so precisely you will want to turn it off. Do not. If you need someone to tell you that you are doing your best, leave now. There are 10,000 videos for that. They will keep you warm and broke. Once you see how money actually moves, you cannot unsee it. You will never sit through another Monday meeting with the same face again. Now look at where you are standing right now, because that is where the theft begins. Your money does not disappear, it gets extracted. On schedule. Rent taken before you touch it. Tax taken before you see it. A car payment on a machine that loses value while it sits. Subscriptions you forgot you authorized. Interest on a purchase you cannot remember making. You are not bad with money, you are farmed. Economists at the Federal Reserve survey American households every year. Around a third of adults cannot cover a $400 emergency with cash, not $4,000, $400. These are working people. Employed people, men with badges and titles and direct deposit. Here is what nobody says out loud. A job is not a source of wealth. A job is a payment plan for your obedience. They pay you the minimum required to keep you from leaving and the maximum they can without losing profit. That is the entire equation. Your loyalty is not a variable in it. The employee sells hours and gets paid once. The owner builds something and gets paid while sleeping. You are not behind because you are lazy. You are behind because you chose the wrong side of that sentence, and nobody told you there were two. You do not want more money. You want to stop being asked permission. Lesson 1. Comfort is financial poison. Comfort feels like a reward. It is a payment. Every soft choice has a price, and the price is paid later by a version of you who did not get a vote. Watch the mechanism. You are tired, you order delivery instead of cooking. $22. You are stressed. You upgrade the phone you did not need. $1,100 financed. You are bored. You give 3 hours to a screen that pays other men. None of these feel like decisions. That is the design. Machiavelli warned that men are ruined by their appetites long before they are ruined by their enemies. He watched princes lose states because they preferred pleasure to preparation. The system that surrounds you now is more sophisticated than any prince's court. It is built by the best psychologists alive, and its only product is your sedation. Researchers who track how Americans spend their days find the average adult gives roughly 3 hours daily to television alone. Add the phone, add the scroll. That is 20 hours a week. That is a second job. You already work it. It just pays someone else. Delayed gratification is not a personality trait. It is a transaction. You are buying future power with present discomfort, and the exchange rate is the best one you will ever be offered. The poor man optimizes his weekend. The dangerous man optimizes his decade. Stop asking what you want tonight. Start asking what you are willing to pay for. Then pay it in advance. Discomfort is not the enemy. Comfort is the tax collector. But cutting your costs will never make you rich. That is the second lie, and it is the one that traps the disciplined. Lesson 2. Income beats frugality. You have been told that wealth is built by cutting. Skip the coffee. Cancel the streaming. Clip the coupon. That is the lie they sell to people who will never have leverage. Run the arithmetic. Cut every unnecessary expense with military discipline. Best case, you free up $400 a month. Now you are a man with a spreadsheet, a resentment, and $4,800 a year. One new client at $800 a month beats the entire year of suffering, and you can add another one. Frugality has a flaw. Your expenses cannot go below zero. Income has no ceiling. Understand why this lie is so popular. Cutting expenses is safe. It requires no risk, no rejection, no exposure. You can do it entirely inside your own house. Nobody can say no to you, and it produces the feeling of financial progress without a single uncomfortable conversation. The obedient crowd loves it for exactly that reason. Machiavelli would look at a man defending his budgeting app with pride and see a soldier polishing his boots while the walls come down. Discipline with expenses is hygiene. Keep it. But it is not a strategy. It is what you do while the real machine gets built. Your question is no longer how to spend less. Your question is what you can build that people will pay for, and how fast you can put it in front of them. Which raises the only question that determines what you get paid. Lesson 3. Solve expensive problems. Jakob Fugger was born into a family of textile traders in Augsburg. Cloth, not empire, he noticed something the merchants around him ignored. Kings and emperors were permanently short of cash. Wars cost money. Elections for the imperial crown cost money. And nobody with real capital wanted to lend to violent men with no collateral. Fugger lent, not for interest alone. He took mining rights, copper, silver, control of the metal that made the coins. He financed the election of an emperor. And when that emperor sat on the throne, Fugger owned the flow of the metals underneath the entire economy. He did not become the richest man in Europe by selling more cloth to more people. He solved the most expensive problem available to him, and he charged in ownership instead of fees. Now translate that to your hands. Your income is not decided by your effort. It is decided by the size of the problem you stand next to. Nobody pays a premium for a small problem solved beautifully. A man who edits videos competes with 10,000 men and charges $40. A man who takes a company's raw footage and returns a system that produces leads is standing next to a problem worth thousands a month. Same software, different problem. Go find where money is actively bleeding. Missed appointments, slow response times, manual data entry that eats 12 hours a week, customer inquiries that go unanswered at night while the owner sleeps. The tools to fix those are now available to a man with no capital. AI systems that answer, qualify, sort, follow up, transcribe, and report. You do not need to build the model. You need to know which bleeding wound it stops. Ask the owner what his problem costs him monthly. Charge a fraction of that. He will not negotiate. He will thank you. Amateurs price their time. Predators price the wound. That gets you paid. It does not get you free. For that, you need something worse. Lesson 4. Sell it once, get paid many times. Here is the sentence that separates two classes of men. Some things you make one time, some things you make every time. Cut a man's hair and you get paid once. Cut 100 and you get paid 100 times, and you worked 100 times. There is no compounding in hands. Larry Ellison understood this earlier than almost anyone. He did not sell his labor. He sold licenses to software that had already been written. The code did not get tired, it did not sleep. It shipped to the next customer at nearly zero cost, and the next, and the next. He built one of the largest fortunes on the planet on the difference between building once and selling forever. Look at your own week. How much of what you did will you have to do again next week for the same money? That percentage is your cage. Start converting. The consultant who answers the same question 40 times records it once and sells the recording. The freelancer with a repeatable process turns the process into a template, then a tool, then a subscription. The knowledge in your head is a liability while it stays there. It only becomes an asset when it exists outside you and can be delivered without you. This is the door that just opened in your lifetime. A man alone can now build products that used to require an engineering team and a warehouse. Software, courses, templates, automated services. Digital assets that get manufactured once and shipped infinitely. That door will not stay this wide. The men who walk through it while it is easy will own the next 20 years. The men who wait for certainty will read about them. Do not ask how many hours you can sell. Ask what you can build that keeps selling after you stop touching it. Now the harder truth. You can build something excellent and still starve. Lesson 5. Attention is a currency. The best product does not win. The most visible one does. You have watched this happen. An inferior restaurant with a line out the door. A worse book on the bestseller list. A mediocre operator with 1,000 clients while a better man waits by the phone. You called it unfair. It is not unfair. It is a market you refuse to enter. Rupert Murdoch never built the best journalism on earth. He built the largest attention machine, and then he charged everyone who needed access to it. He understood that whoever controls where the eyes go, controls where the money follows. Attention is not vanity. Attention is distribution. And distribution is the difference between a good product and a business. Most people think they need to be discovered. They are wrong. Nobody is looking for you. There is no talent scout for men with potential. The world does not audit itself for hidden competence. You have to build the pipe yourself, post the work, show the process, publish the result. Do it publicly and do it relentlessly. And do it before it looks impressive, because waiting until it looks impressive is just fear wearing a suit. Every piece of attention you accumulate is an asset that compounds. It lowers your cost of getting the next client. It raises your prices. It makes strangers arrive pre-convinced. It is the only asset you can build starting today with $0. Silence is not humility. Silence is invisibility, and the invisible do not get paid. But visibility punishes the slow, which is the next lesson, and the one that kills the most talented men. Lesson 6. Speed beats perfection. You are not blocked by difficulty. You are blocked by polish. You are still adjusting the logo, still rewriting the offer, still waiting to feel ready. Ready is a feeling that arrives after competence, never before. Machiavelli praised the man who acts while fortune is still moving, because fortune rewards the bold and abandons the hesitant. He watched cautious rulers lose everything by waiting for the perfect moment to arrive on its own. Ship it ugly, charge for it early, fix it in public. The market does not grade your presentation. It answers one question. Does this solve my problem right now? Every week you spend perfecting is a week of data you did not collect. And data beats opinion. Your opinion of your own product is worth nothing. One paying customer teaches you more than 90 days of planning. Stop preparing. Start colliding. You will look amateur. Good. Amateurs who ship beat professionals who plan. Now the last lesson, and the one that decides whether any of this survives. Lesson 7. Ignore status, buy assets. Money makes most men poorer. Watch it happen. A man's income doubles. Within a year, so does his lifestyle. Bigger car, bigger apartment, better watch. Same net worth, same anxiety. He has purchased a more expensive version of the same cage, and he calls it success. You know this person. You may be about to become him. The rich, you see, are not rich. They are leveraged actors performing wealth for an audience of people they do not like. The genuinely wealthy are almost impossible to identify on the street. Sam Walton built the largest retailer in the world and drove a beat-up pickup truck with dog crates in the back. He was not being humble, he was being efficient. Every dollar he did not spend on appearance went into stores that produced more dollars. That is the entire distinction. Consumers buy things that eat money. Owners buy things that produce it. Federal Reserve data on household wealth shows something brutal about who actually owns America. The overwhelming majority of corporate stock is held by the wealthiest 10% of households. Not because they earn more, because they convert income into ownership instead of into display. Everyone else owns depreciating objects and monthly obligations. Here is the reframe that should change your week. Stop measuring your wealth in dollars. Measure it in months of freedom. Take everything you own that produces income, subtract what you are obligated to pay, and ask how long you could survive without working. That number is your real net worth. It is probably close to zero. Cash flow is what makes you dangerous, not net worth on paper, not the house you cannot sell without moving out. Income that arrives whether or not you show up. That is what lets you refuse a client. Walk out of a job. Take the risk that changes your life. A man with $3,000 a month in owned income cannot be threatened. A man with a $200,000 salary and matching expenses can be destroyed by one meeting. Which one are you building? Buy the boring thing that pays. Refuse the beautiful thing that costs. Let them think you are cheap. Let them look at your car and feel superior. They are entertainment. You are accumulating. Status is a bill. Assets are an army. Now the part where you argue with me. I can hear it forming. This is easy to say. You do not know my situation. I have a job, a family, 4 hours of energy a day, and no capital. That is valid, every word of it, and it changes nothing. Because here is the arithmetic you cannot escape. You have already established that you give roughly 20 hours a week to screens. Take 5 of them. 5 hours a week every week is 260 hours a year. That is 6 full working weeks of building something that belongs to you. You do not have a time problem. You have a priority you refuse to name. Answer honestly. What did you actually build in the last 12 months that still exists and produces something today? If the answer is nothing, understand what that means. Another 12 months just like it are already scheduled unless you interrupt them. Here is the trap almost every man in your position falls into. He hears all of this. He agrees completely. He feels the fire. And then he treats the feeling as the achievement. He watches 4 more videos on the same subject and mistakes the education for progress. Motion that produces nothing is sedation with better branding. The slow lane sold you a specific fiction. Work for 4 decades, accept the salary leash, and receive your freedom at the exact moment your body can no longer use it. They will hand you your life back with a card and a cake, and they will call it a reward. It is a settlement. You accepted it before you read the terms. Time is the only resource you cannot regenerate. Every other loss is recoverable. 2 men leave this. One will feel something and change nothing. One will pick a single expensive problem this week and put himself in front of someone who has it. Nobody is coming to make that choice for you. If something in this rearranged the way you see your own paycheck, put 3 words in the comments. I own now. I want to see who is actually here. Apply these and the change is not gradual, it is structural. Your income stops being a number someone else approves. Your calendar stops belonging to a manager. You develop the ability to say no without doing math first. This is what you were promised at the start, and now you know the mechanics that produce it. But name the cost, because it is real. You will become worse company. You will leave conversations early. Friends will notice that you no longer complain with them, and they will resent it, because your discipline is an accusation they never asked for. Some of them will disappear. Your family may quietly decide you have become cold. You will spend a long stretch working on things nobody claps for, and you will do it alone. That is the invoice. Every man who built anything has paid it. Choose now. You can have the approval of people who are exactly where you are, or you can have control of your own life. Both are available. Not together. Not ever. Machiavelli did not write his most dangerous work from a palace. He wrote it after they stripped his office, tortured him with rope, and exiled him to a small farm outside the city. He spent his days among peasants and his nights writing to men who would never invite him back. He had nothing left except the ability to see the machine clearly. That clarity outlived every prince who humiliated him. You do not need permission or capital to start seeing clearly. You need to stop being sedated. There is a version of this that goes deeper. Not how to make money, but how to make yourself impossible to remove from the position once you have it. That belongs to another night. Most people will finish this and go back to the feed. They will feel sharp for 20 minutes and wake up unchanged. That is not an insult. It is a statistic. You are still here. You are still doing math on what I said. Then stay. This is what the grey eminence exists for, and there is no second place that will hand you this without softening it first. Subscribe. Not as a favor. Do it because the next set of mechanics is the kind that turns a man with nothing into a man with leverage, and because you do not intend to be standing in the same place a year from now. The obedient stay warm. You were not built for warm.